This is Nasha Kasha, Ukrainian Almanac. 28 minutes of stories for everyone about Ukrainian life. Nasha Kasha is heard on 19 campus and community radio stations, from Newfoundland to British Columbia. I'm your reporter, Stefan Andrusiak. This is episode 205. I found the following information on a webpage called conversation.com. It's a sales training portal. In March, it published an article about the coronavirus, canceled shows, and what events managers might want to consider doing during the shutdowns. So let's start at the top, the big top. Global entertainment giant Cirque du Soleil has shut down 44 shows worldwide until at least January 2021. Place des Arts in Montreal, all activities suspended until further notice. Canada's largest events company, Evenco, the same thing. And Live Nation, the U.S. company which in 2010 merged with Ticketmaster and now owns venues, sells tickets, and manages artists globally. All of these may lose their entire summer season because of the global pandemic. Live event entertainers rely on the creation of emotional experiences and human interactions. Among the pragmatic steps suggested for entertainers at this time by the Harvard Business Review is this one: maintain customer engagement, so that when conditions allow, audiences will want to return. Keep your brand out there and connect in surprising and unexpected ways. Cirque du Soleil is a case in point. Online, you can now exercise the Cirque way, learn new makeup techniques, dive into virtual reality. Closer to home, the Ukrainian band Zirka, you're listening to them now, has been first out of the blocks on the Ukrainian scene. They're offering fans the opportunity to watch them in their Zoom meetings, even offering to host other bands as they reminisce about the good old days. And consider Mark Marchik, well known for his band Lemon Bucket. He is offering to serenade anybody who wants it under their home window, at an appropriately safe distance, of course. Cute, you say? Yes, but good business practices first and foremost. In this episode of Nasha Kasha, we're about to hear the voices of musicians, composers, a conductor, from both sides of the border and a spectrum of musical genres. Each will share their projects, their lives, and their thoughts away from the stage as they try to anticipate the future.
My name's Brian Chidovek. Most people would know me as a member of the band called Kubosonics. I've had kind of a long and varied kind of music career, playing all kinds of different styles of music, and that's really what I do today. I'm currently based out of St. John's, Newfoundland, and besides playing with our band Kubosonics, I play in a number of other bands here. And obviously, in these interesting times, I'm not doing much of that. All our venues for live music are closed down, and we're kind of left with making music on our own at home and trying to share it with our friends if we can through various electronic means. You know, obviously this had a big effect on our group's work. We are kind of best known as a live performance act, so we play at venues and festivals and things all across Canada and other parts of the world, often for non-Ukrainian audiences And for them, they're interested in hearing, new kinds of music that they haven't heard before. They're really interested in seeing the kind of energy that comes through in the performances that we do. Often that energy doesn't translate the same way if it's only in a recording or a video. We're all quarantined, some of us in parts of St. John's, and one of our band members lives outside of the city, so we actually only talk to each other electronically lately. So it's had quite an effect both on, almost everybody in our group primarily makes their livings playing music, so it's been a great disruption. We started a new recording before all of this happened, and so we're continuing to do some work as much as we can. Fortunately for me, I'm home in my own house with my wife and my small kids. Two of my other kids play in our band, and we only see them from very far distances, like at the far end of the driveway, because they live in a different house, and we're following their guidelines set out for us. So hopefully if everybody follows that, Newfoundland's done a good job of flattening the curve, and hopefully other parts of Canada will too, and soon we'll get back to visiting all our friends across the country, making new music and getting back to life as it once was, or a new life that none of us can imagine yet, I guess.
Благослови нас божественним потоком шоколаду. Привіт, hello, добрий день. This is Oresha en français. Вона любить шоколад. I grew up in Edmonton, but I've lived in Montreal for over a decade, performing at different festivals across Canada, in Mexico before the COVID situation. I was in Ukraine and I translated some of my songs. My music is world-inspired, a lot of world music rhythms, reggae, Cuban music, tropical, and even some Afro-Caribbean rhythms mixed with soul and songs that speak to and from the heart.
На вулиці вдома, ти будеш ймовірний і завжди покірний. Шоколад, ти такий неймовірний.
Wow, we are in a very interesting time. Feeling so blessed to be in Canada. I think the most important thing, focus on the positive and to step out of the fear. Keep our immune system up and keeping a healthy mind, body, and spirit. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Connect with your family or your loved ones. We need to help each other out. It's a time to stop being judgmental. We're already physically separated and isolated, and we need to start respecting each other and the ideas that each of us have. This is a good time to meditate and find a global human solution to envision and unify, to bring back the human in humanity. My newest single from my upcoming album coming out in June now, Coriña. The song I would like to introduce to you is called Chocolade. It's a bit of a fun song for you to kind of lighten up your hearts during these times.
This is Luka Kaplowski. I'm a songwriter based out of Toronto. I write music as a place to hold thought and explore sounds. Before COVID, I had just signed to a new record deal with an American label, Mama Bird Recording Co. out of Portland, and Next Door Records in Toronto. And we were just about to ready the release of a new EP, West Coast Tour. We still put out that record, but it's been in a more unusual way. But it feels good to still have something that I can share with people in this time of distance.
Though there are tears around your heart, your eyes are stone. Every bright star fades when you come home. Oh, the ground is wet with sorrow. It will always look this way. Everybody walk in brightness, 'cause it's a new day, a new day, a new day. Spring ever rose again.
Another important part of my musical life is the kind of community of musicians we have in Toronto. Along with two of my friends, Tom Gill and Tamara Lindemann, we started a streaming series every Thursday at 7 p.m. in which we rallied together a bunch of different folks in our community and do short concerts over Instagram as just a way to kind of keep that spirit alive. Spirit is very pertinent to the record I just put out. It's my first collection of covers, 4 songs. All of these songs and the ways that I learned them came through community and friendship and collaboration, mainly through a space that I used to frequent a lot called the Holy Oak Cafe. I would organize nights dedicated to artists that I'd love and rally a group of friends together to learn those songs. So it feels nice to share a record that speaks to that joy of collaboration and friendship that is a bit harder to navigate, but it's something I look forward to continuing when it seems appropriate and seems safe to do so again. In the meanwhile, you can listen to this record, and I'd like to share a song from it called A New Day, which is a cover of a Mary Margaret O'Hara song.
Sip it up to disappear. Then just to stand so near home. When your own hand won't recognize your face, makes you wanna go someplace. Tears round your heart, tears round your heart, stone in your eyes. Look at your change of heart, look at the same skies. Tears round your heart, tears round your heart, tears round your heart.
Hi, Ron Cahoot here from Toronto, Buria Band and the Barabolia series and a whole bunch of other stuff. And just self-quarantining at home. I want to make sure that everyone else is doing the same thing and staying safe and healthy. Out of this tragedy, we may get some goodness happening. The world's getting to be a little bit better place. People are loving one another, caring for one another, a little more sympathetic. The environment seems to be getting a boost. So stay healthy, stay safe, and God bless.
Як давно ми запізналися, кохалися, цілувалися, день у день ми обіймалися, гралися, сміялися. Пісня всього, як побралися, дізналися, що здолалися. Дім та дітей рідна теплота, вся сім'я обнялась. Але швидко літають літа, юний блеск обняла сивина. Не піддайся, мій мила моя, нам до танців пора. Ей, на місяць серце линули, летіли ми, і я, і ти. А в майбутнє міцно вірим, бо мріяли прадавні сни.
Nasha Kasha comes to you from CHRW 94.9 FM on the campus of Western University in London, Ontario, Canada. We're heard on CHMR 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland, on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, on Local 107.3 FM in St. John, New Brunswick, on CJAS Radio 93.5 FM in Saint Augustine, Quebec, on CJLO 1690 AM in Montreal, on CFRC 101.9 FM in Kingston, on CFMU 93.3 FM in Hamilton, on CKMS 102.7 FM in Kitchener-Waterloo, on CJAM 99.1 FM in Windsor and Detroit, on CKLU 96.7 FM in Sudbury, on CILU 102.7 FM in Thunder Bay, on 101.5 UMFM in Winnipeg, on CJTR 91.3 FM in Regina, on CFMQ 98.1 FM in Hudson Bay, Saskatchewan, on CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops, on CIVL 101.7 FM in Abbotsford, on CJSF 90.1 FM in Vancouver, and on CHLY 101.7 FM in Nanaimo, British Columbia. Ron Cahoot and his band Buria, and the Ukrainian language version of the Mucho Mambo called Sway. It was co-written by Luis Demetrio and Pablo Bertrand Ruiz in 1954.
Hi, my name is Carissa Klopushak, and I'm a violinist living in Ottawa. Primarily, I'm a member of the National Arts Centre Orchestra here in Ottawa, But I'm also a member of the Ironwood Quartet. I play my own solo projects and recitals. And I'm also a member of the Ukrainian band Tutti Tam.
Сонце ще не вийшло, а я вже зібраний, а тебе чи скоро переходить. Трохи підголився, сендвіч маю в торбі, йду до праці, сам собі співаю.
I grew up in Saskatoon, where I took music lessons and I sang in my dad's choir, Lastuvka. I was also a member of the Saskatoon Symphony for a few years while I was doing my undergrad there. I then moved to Montreal, where I pursued my master's and then eventually my doctorate degree as well in violin performance. For me, COVID-19 represents a pretty drastic change to my life. There are no concerts on the docket for me, nothing to practice for at the moment. The festivals that I was scheduled to play in this summer are likely not taking place. My own festival, Ritornello, is postponed and or cancelled, we're not yet sure. We're just rolling with the punches right now. The NAC, where I work primarily, is shut down for the time being, but the musicians of the orchestra are being asked to record and present really fun noon hour NACO lunch break videos where we play from our own homes and show what we're up to during the COVID quarantine. It's actually really nice. The audience really enjoys seeing into our bedroom windows, as it were. I have yet to do mine, but I will be doing some soon. Normally, I would be using this time to do my own performing and recording, but actually right before this happened, I fell on ice and hurt my hand. I'm not even playing at the moment. So, like all of you, we have good and bad days, right? On the good days, I'm really productive and I'm dreaming about and planning all of these future projects and recordings and doing arrangements and thinking about all the things that I want to do and what kind of artist I want to be. And, on the other days, which I won't call bad days, I'm resting and I'm healing and I'm using the time to think about my priorities, what might be important and what I can contribute and where to go from here. Concerts are a far way off right now, but when they happen again, I hope that people gather, because I think there's nothing that can replace the experience of live music, where people are in the room with one another, experiencing it together and sharing that connection with the artist. And I really hope that this galvanizes some support for the arts in a real meaningful way, where more people champion this idea of live art, music or theater or visual arts, doesn't matter. But I hope that people realize that that's what has been getting them through this time, because we enjoy making it for you. I really enjoy it. I really miss it. And I can't wait to see any audience again, whether it's a little house concert or 2,000 plus people in the NAC. The piece you'll hear me perform is by Miroslav Skorek, a Ukrainian composer living in Lviv. Last year in Saskatoon, I had the opportunity to record a video session of this piece with my dear friend Catherine Dowling, and I really hope you enjoy it, and I hope that it brings you peace in this tumultuous time.
My name is Alek Machlai from Hinckley, Ohio, which is right outside of Cleveland, across Lake Erie from Canada. I am the artistic director and the conductor of the Ukrainian Bandurist Chorus of North America. In Ukrainian, that's the Українська капеля бандуристів імені Тараса Шевченка. We're a group that is over a century old. It is now basically based in all of North America. I think we have members from 3 to 4 provinces of Canada, maybe 8 states. We don't rehearse that often, but it's extremely important when we do get together for any artistic group to get together and now not be able to do that. It has been quite a challenge. We are an all-male ensemble featuring the multi-stringed bandura, which is a Ukrainian folk instrument. Our repertoire is based on mostly Ukrainian folk compositions, but also we have works that are written for the bandura and for our ensemble. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we have resorted to have virtual streaming rehearsals, and actually this has been a good opportunity for one thing to at least get together. When we have someone from Alberta, California, Ohio, Ontario, New York in one rehearsal, that's great that we could do it online, and I can at least get that information to them so they can practice at home and be prepared when we finally will be able to get together. This COVID-19 pandemic may also make people realize the beauty and the importance of live music and live performance. Has just celebrated the 100th anniversary 2 years ago, so I hope to see you at some concert.
Hi there, Nasha Kasha. This is Darka Stabilka, and I'm also known as Darka Dusty in English. I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon. My style is eclectic. It's not really a style, it's just a fancy adjective. But I love to sing Ukrainian music. I like country and Western. I love singing the blues. I love singing big power ballads. I've been a musician my whole life, and I guess that's how it's going to stay. And I'm happy about that. Been working on a lot of music in the last 2 months. That's one of the benefits of having to quarantine. My husband, Miroslav Stabilka from England, he's a master composer as well as a really amazing professional photographer. So we have a lot of creative projects going right now. I just think that, some of us are doing okay, some of us are not doing okay, and we have to stick together right now. Life is really just so much more precious, isn't it? Before we can move forward, we really just have to let go of the past and welcome this as a paradigm shift. We can keep the most beautiful moments in our hearts, but we have to reinvent ourselves, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I encourage you to do that too. Don't sweat the small stuff. You can catch me on Instagram, #DarkaDusty, and I also have a Facebook music page. And I really hope to see you soon at some Ukrainian festival or come visit Portland. Take care, everyone.
За нею Іванко, як барвінок б'ється. За нею Іванко, як барвінок б'ється. Галю ж моя, Галю, дай води напиться. Ти така хороша, дай хоч подивіться. Ти така хороша, дай хоч подивіться. Вода у криниці, дай піди напийся. Я буду в садочку, прийди подивися. Я буду в садочку, прийди подивися. Парара, па-парара, 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 па-парара. мене, Галю, та й не шанувала. Стелися барвінку, буду поливати. Вернися, Іванку, буду шанувати. Вернися, Іванку, буду шанувати. Скільки не стелився, ти не поливала. Скільки не вертався, ти не шанувала. Скільки не вертався, ти не шанувала.
The excerpt that you heard from the Ukrainian Bandurist chorus was a live recording from Toronto about the Cossack warrior Nechai. I'm your reporter Stefan Andrusiak. Partial funding for Nasha Kasha is provided by the Shevchenko Foundation and the Ukrainian Credit Union. Back in a week, God willing. До милої зустрічі. За тиждень часу, дорогі слухачі.